We're back again. Another low budget review here on the channel and a recommendation. I hope that's why you watch, so you can either see the movie if you haven't seen it and look for a recommendation on what to watch, or you have seen it and you want to hear somebody else's opinion on it. I picked up this VHS copy a couple of days ago, another one of my 50-cent VHS adventures into movies I've never seen. 1975's Hard Times, starring Charles Bronson and James Coburn. This movie kind of pairs them up again because I think they were in a couple of other movies together. I want to say Coburn was in The Magnificent Seven, or maybe it was The Great Escape with Bronson. I can't remember. But anyway, I'd never heard of it and I'd never seen it. And I bought it because my buddy Jonathan collects Charles Bronson movies, and this will be staying in my collection. So we'll jump right into it. I gave this movie right off the bat 5 out of 5. It's a classic. 1975, it kind of has a similar vibe. It came out a couple of years after The Sting, which won Best Picture, I think, in 1972 or 73. Kind of filmed in that similar time period of period movies going back to the 20s and 30s. And I'm going to read the back of the box to fill up time here. In case you haven't seen it, we'll give you a little overview. Charles Bronson demonstrates exactly what tough is in the two-fisted action drama about a drifter suddenly caught up in a fight game during the Great Depression. And I guess that's kind of like my opinion of Charles Bronson. He's tough, but like his eyes scare me. I think of him as Paul Kersey in Death Wish, which came out similar time as this film. And he's just intensely quiet, and it's like scary and intimidating, where you're just like, whoa, this guy doesn't have a lot of lines, he doesn't say a lot, but he says it all just by like his body language. And he plays this kind of street fighting guy trying to make some money to get to where he needs to go, which they never really say in the film. And then James Coburn is kind of like involved with the underworld of street fighting. Think Fight Club, but not really Fight Club. It's not organized boxing events, kind of like the movie The Hustler. Kind of, I just think of like, if you're into the movie like The Sting, or if you've recently seen the Adam Sandler starring film Uncut Gems, where somebody has a gambling problem and they get in over their head, you will really enjoy this film. It is period correct. The women's hair feels very correct. I feel like a lot of the 70s movies, they don't get the hairstyle when they're portraying the 20s proper, but they did a good job in this movie. Very shadowy cinematography, lots of low lighting, lots of late night fights in warehouses with low overhead lighting, and lots of bare knuckled fighting with way over exaggerated punching sound effects where it's kind of comical. But I liked it. Like I said, I was 5 out of 5 in the movie. Rotten Tomatoes, I guess this movie's well regarded and I just never heard of it. 92%, IMDb 7.2 out of 10, and Google users were 81. So again, a rare 5 out of 5. It runs 95 minutes. I wished I would have had a remastered copy because if this looked horrible on 4:3 aspect ratio, the person with the pan and scan did not know what they were doing. And it was just very distracting not seeing things in the frame that you know should be there. So my buddy Ryan always talks about how he hates VHS because of the 4:3 aspect ratio. I feel like this is one of those films that would be worth it watching it on a modern restored version format, because I feel like you'd get a better experience than I got watching it here on my VCR. This was a Columbia movie, and it just seems like some low-budget production, HGV, made in Canada. And what else did I want to say about it? Okay, so the guy that directed this movie, Walter Hill, he wrote the screenplay for the Eddie Murphy movie, which I own on VHS and I have yet to watch. I'll have to do a review on it. 48 Hours. And he was executive producer on James Cameron's 1986 Alien, and the producer on the original 1979 Ridley Scott Alien. But I guess this was his forte. I didn't see a lot of directorial credits. He had a lot of producer and writer credits, the Walter Hill guy. James Coburn, excellent actor. There's a bit actor in this movie, played by Strother Martin, and he plays this Panama hat, seersucker suit wearing pseudo doctor who kind of evaluates the Charles Bronson character during the fights and talking about how he will be in the ring. So what else did I want to talk about this movie? This is why I take notes and then I don't write down everything that I want to talk about and I forget. Anyway, it's a great film. I'm going to have to wrap it up here because there was something else that I wanted to say. But, if you love The Big Easy, if you love A Southern Gentleman, watch this movie because it takes place in New Orleans in the 1920s. And that Strother Martin character played like this very atypical Southern guy. It was just a great film. I was expecting the ending to be violent, kind of like I had that Uncut Gems thing in my mind where like the James Coburn character just wins all this money as like the promoter of the boxer played by Charles Bronson, and you just expect him to get killed for not paying his debts because he's getting all this money but then he's spending all of his money. Dave Ramsey, he needed to read Total Money Makeover. That's all today. That's all for today, folks. Until next time, let me know if you guys have seen this and what your comments are down below. My old coworker from CarMax, Mark, said it's one of his favorites, and I can see why. See you later.